Hey guys, hope you're all good. I thought I would share a video regarding IG ads, Meta ads, Facebook ads, and what's happening in 2026 and the changes from 2025, 2024. Now, traditionally, let's go into this video and look at things logically from a marketer's perspective, not so much just from chucking anything out there and seeing what works. Now, traditionally, back in the day, we were able to run application ads very, very cold and get a high amount of volume in and try and close people. Now, times have changed. Trust is at an all-time low, and what we need to be looking at now, as marketers, as business owners, is like how can we actually build trust? How can we put things in front of people where they're not going to think that we're selling to them from the offset? So, over the last year, I've dabbled. I've come away from sort of the direct marketing, and I've gone more into sort of like nurturing long term in order to get people over the line. Now, what I've seen my side is we get less volume from an application across a lot of accounts, but the volume that comes in is high quality. They trust you and they're not wasting time. Now, traditionally back in the day when you run application ads, it was all about how many people you could get in. You'd probably have a stressed sales team. And you would maybe get five or six people out of a pool of 50 to 60 people. Now, that's not bad, but it's hours, it's time, and it's stress. So typically what I've modeled over the last year is a very simple funnel. And there's a time frame for this, and this is specifically for coaches, personal brands, people that have a service-based business. If you are a local business, this is not for you. Local business ads are very, very much more simpler, whereas a broad and personal brands, big brands, there's a lot more that has to go into things. So let's look at the funnel as a whole. So the first thing we want to be doing is we want to get people to your Instagram, okay? And we want to build up your audience so that we've got people that are uh, potential buyers long term. Okay. The next step is we want to get these people onto our email list. We want to bring them into our world. We want them to learn and be more educated about us. And obviously, how we do that via email marketing is by sending them to maybe some long form content, providing them value, providing them things that they can actually get their teeth stuck into so that they have a better relationship with you as a personal brand. The next thing is DM inbounds. DM inbounds is to get conversations. So obviously follower growth, you're going to have those conversations, but then you're putting micro offers in front of people to get them to inquire and be interested in potential problems they have, and that would be by DM inbounds. Now, the last thing is your signature offer, your application, your program. Now, me personally, I don't like running this continuously. I like running things in segments because I believe that this does sort of a lot of the heavy lifting. Unless you're running a super big budget of maybe 10K a week or 5K a week, then you can keep this running all the time. But for most people, they won't be. So if the idea is obviously we want to be nurturing, 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 and then eventually we can hit them with an application campaign, which will push them into wanting to apply. Now, what I'll do is I'll go through each section so you can have a good understanding of the steps you need to take before you can even get onto this, and this. Okay. So the first thing is your growth accelerator. So what you want to be doing is the idea is to get new eyes onto your page and potential future customers. Now, audiences, they want to be as close to your avatar as possible. So you want audiences that are lookalike audiences, so i.e. your IG lookalike. Now, if you don't know how to do this, in my previous video, I explain how to set that up, so you can check that out in the previous video. But in this, you want to have audiences that are lookalikes, and you want interests that are based on the types of clients you're trying to look for. Again, if you don't know how to do that, previous video explains that. Now, considerations, we want to have the correct audience. How do we identify that? By having conversations and making sure that the content you're putting out is the right type of content. We want to make sure that we're getting good replies, and we want to make sure that we are potentially booking some calls. Now, with that, that's the first 60 days. Now, that gives you enough time to get this nailed. Okay. That gives you enough time to get the correct audience, good reply rates, and booking calls. Now, you cannot move on to the next stages until that's nailed. Because if you're going to start retargeting people and running ads to similar audiences, believe me, this and this is not going to work. Because if people aren't having communication with you as a follower, they're not going to be interested in your product and service from a lead magnet or a DM ad. Believe me, and especially an application ad. And this is where a lot of people get this wrong. They'll run this, it doesn't work. They go straight onto an application ad to the same audience, and it doesn't work, right? This is the cheapest way to get people into your ecosystem, to get them to understand you, to have conversations, to see if what you're doing is working. And if you see that people are engaged and they trust, and they're having conversations with you, then you can put different ads in front of them. Now, let's just say first 60 days, Growth Accelerator works. People like you, they trust you, they're having conversations, they're following you for a good cost per follow. The next step is you want to be putting a lead magnet in front of them, something easy that they can access, that they're happy to provide their email name and number, and you can get them onto your email list and within your CRM or your ecosystem, so you can start nurturing them externally outside of Meta, right? So that could be anything. The main thing that you want to look at is it must solve a specific problem of the type of person you want to work with. It cannot just be a random nutrition guide or like a business audit guide, or it has to be something very, very specific that you know within your client base you solve and people get a lot of value out of it. Okay, the more valuable it is, the more the client or the potential customer is going to be interested in the future. So considerations for this when launched, we need a good cost per lead. It needs to cover a very, very specific pain point. So a good cost per lead is around £1 to £3. We're asking for them to give us their email address. We aren't expecting anything back from them. Therefore, we don't want to pay too much for that. So good cost per lead, £1 to £3. You will get duplicates. You will get people that have opted into maybe previous stuff, but that's all part of parcel. Now, this is a retargeting campaign, and you can run this cold if it works well, warm. If it works well to your followers, you can target similar audiences that you've pushed to your follower growth and get that out as well. And you can build up your email list externally. Now, the next stage is the DM ads, which I recommend after about 3 months, because what you want to have is you want to be verified that you're getting lots of emails, you're having conversations with the followers, you understand what they need now through running follower ads, having those conversations. You now can see that they're interested in your lead magnet. Now you can put a DM ad out covering a specific issue, maybe with a hook, maybe with something that's going to get their attention so they can DM you a keyword and have a conversation with you. Now, again, with this can only be used if you're successfully getting emails and you're successfully getting followers. Now, again, people do run this cold. It does work, but you've got to look at this logically. You are running a cold ad. No one knows you. No one knows you. So I've got the data on this. We run cold ads across multiple accounts. It's about a 1% conversion rate, 1.2% conversion rate. So you need, 100 DMs, which could cost you $5 to $10, £5 to £10 to get potentially one sale. Now, if you're paying an awful lot, that's an awful lot of conversations. It is profitable, but it's the amount of time and effort you're having to churn through 99 to 100 DMs to get someone in. So running this warm, conversion rates around anywhere between 8 to 15%. Big difference. So you're running a DM ad to your warmer audience. Again, you can run this cold to build an audience. However, not a lot will convert, but they will be within your audience, so they will pick up on a lead magnet. But my advice is always run this warm. So you can see there's a time frame. We verify that we're getting followers. We then retarget them with a lead magnet. We then push them into DM inbound so we can have conversations with these people. And then lastly, once every quarter, we run an application campaign. We want limited spots, we want urgency and scarcity because it's an open close. Okay, if like I say, if you are a bigger brand on a bigger budget, 5, 10, 15K a week, you can get away with running evergreens because there's a lot of volume coming in. But if you're a smaller brand, where I've seen the best ROI is open closed offers. Once a quarter, so 4 times a year, anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks, limited spots available. And then what you are doing is you are retargeting everyone that's DM'd you. You're retargeting everyone that's opted in and become a lead. You're retargeting everyone that's followed you and engaged with you. So you've got this pool of people over 90 to 100 days that you can now push your application ad, not to mention all the people that are following you as well. And you have a limited time for them to be able to apply. Now they can apply, they can go straight in, they can book a call, or they can apply and then you can reach out to them and book them into a call. It depends on what you want to do. But what would happen then is you turn that off and then we recycle again for the next 90 days. We build up more followers, we get more people on our email list, we get more people within the DMs, and then we launch again. And that's pretty much what I've seen work best in 2025 in comparison to 2024 and 2023, where you could literally just run an application campaign to a cold audience in the masses and get loads of people booked on your calendar. Yes, there were shitty leads, but there were some good people in there that wanted to buy. That has got much harder now. So we need to do more step by step to get them into consideration phase before they want to apply and work with that specific brand or business. Now, again, consideration for application ads, you only want to launch them if you're getting followers that align with your brand, if you've built up an email list, and if you're getting replies from the DM ads. Because what that allows is it allows you to retarget all of that warm, nurtured audience. And that ad, that application ad, will do the heavy lifting and push it in front of people so they can manually apply rather than you physically working to get them in, if that makes sense. Now, this is what I've ran across the board for quite a few accounts in 2025. I believe that this is the way for 2026. Now, there is, yes, you can run cold ads. If you've got a big budget, a very, very big budget, and you have a sales team and you have people that are willing to deal with crap leads, but cycle volume, you can run application ads in the masses. Same with DM ads, you can run DM ads in the masses if you have a big setting team that want to work leads and have multiple conversations a day. You can run these ads cold. You can. But if you're not at that level, the most cost effective way is this funnel. So follower growth, very, very cost effective. Verify your followers, lead generation into an email list. Again, small budgets, very, very cost effective. Like if you're paying £1 to £3 a lead, those two in themselves can build up a small ecosystem. Then if you're seeing a lot of traction on there, then you put DM ads out, you can start getting some inbounds. And then, if you're at a point where you have the budget to spend, and I would say this budget on a week to week basis would be anywhere between, for all funnels to be running, I would say anywhere between 500 to 750 a week. If you want all funnels running, then you'll be in a position to put application ads out. Now, you can easily get away with spending 200 to £300 a week on just these two funnels, easily. So, again, if you're at that low level where you can only spend £500-800 a month, these two funnels are perfect, and you can get clients with those two funnels. DM ads, they add on, and then obviously applications, they add on. Now, guys, if you found this video helpful, again, I can easily send this over in an image if you want to have a view on this, but I can also send the Miro as a link too. So if you found this video helpful, obviously subscribe to the page, drop me a follow, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon.